GM everyone, my name is Tim and I'm making a demo video recording for my submission for the iExec Hackathon. Polymarket did $9 billion in 2024 and about $2.36 billion towards the US election. Every wager was public, every wallet got tracked, every position was copied. The sharper your edge, the more you got punished for showing it. Alright, we are building DarkOdds, which is a public market with a private wager and permissionless creation. The equation is built on iExec, Nox, and Arbitrum. The outcomes and the odds stay public. Your bet sizes stay sealed. Anyone can deploy a market on anything. Right? We can see the market page. Okay. We have two columns. On the left, we have the DarkOdds private market, our native protocol, and on the right, we have the poly market, which we mirror into DarkOdds for private predictions, which is fully, in this case, the poly markets here are fully public. We have the same questions but different privacy stances. Alright, so I'll head into a new browser now. This for a fresh user, no hit, no wallet required, just sign in through private. Alright, then you sign in through private. Alright, you get your verification code to your mail. Then it no need for wallet extensions or whatnot for a simpler use. Then you can easily claim. This user has 08 on Arbitrum. The test tokens the user doesn't have yet, so I can easily claim Arbitrum. It's for gas directly, and you can also read the faucet guide if you want to claim from an external source. Alright, so let's request for 0.005 Sepolia hit for gas. Right, you can see it's sent already. Then we can claim test USDC for testing for making predictions, which is actually going to get encrypted later for actual transactions. Alright, we can see we have already claimed this, and we can view it back on the wallet model. Here we have 1000 test USDC and 0.005 Sepolia hits. Alright, so I want to bet for this market with Bitcoin close above a 50,000 USD at the end of 2026. Alright, so I'm going to wrap test USDC into our confidential token, and that's CUSD. The amount gets encrypted by the iExec Nox before it touches the chain. It's not visible on chain. I'll bet 25 on this now, and you see the encryption and the whole transaction flow here. Right, so I'm going to approve a couple of transactions. So alright, can view the transactions on chain, but the encryption is done by the iExec Nox. Alright, so I just placed 25 CUSD on yes. Alright, so I'll head back into my other account here to claim a winning position I had earlier. Alright, so we can check in my portfolio. I have this bet I made earlier, so I want to claim my winnings, just the same flow. Alright, the flow for this is quite simple. Everything is done through the Nox. The winning position I had just now, it was resolved by the Nox handler. The T handler rather runs inside an Intel TDX enclave. It decrypts the bet and then computes the payouts, then re-encrypts the results again, and then I send an attestation bound to my address, so I can confirm the transaction, and I can also verify this transaction I just did to for an audit. Alright, here's my transaction for the winnings I just claimed on chain, and I can audit and verify this winning for someone else to see that I actually took this bet. So I will generate this. Okay, let's edit the rights. Alright, then I can download this JSON file, or I'll just verify using this JSON file. Alright, now I want to verify this on chain for anyone to see. Right, then you can see we have the exact data from what I just from the bet I just placed. If I edit any value from here, there'll be a misconfiguration. And then creating a bet is permissionless. You can come to the market page here. You can mirror a bet from Polymarket, then you generate it using ChainGPT. ChainGPT does the parsing back into DarkOdds, which DarkOdds now generates the private prediction markets for anyone to use. Alright, so I can now deploy these markets, and my address will act as the owner, and everyone can choose to predict on this market. We can see the market now. We have market 36, and that's the most recent market we just deployed. Thank you, everyone.